Hey there, Rick Brinkus here, Keller Williams Realty, the marketplace right here in Las Vegas, and I've got an update for you. It is now the first week in June. Today is June 10th, 2021, and we now have the graphs for May. So I wanted to kind of share a couple of things with you and statistics. Aren't they wonderful? Especially when I give you some of the information compared to not only last month, but year over year. And I wonder why there is such a big number. So what is happening with supply and demand right now? Well, demand is still super high right now. Interest rates are still hovering around historic lows, which is wonderful. But we've seen the inventory kind of creep up just a little bit. So that whole supply and demand and the feeding frenzy. And as a matter of fact, if we look over here, at this graph, we'll also see that sales have come down a little bit. So we had the peak of sales, the best single month that we've had all year, the best single month we've had in the last 6 years, quite frankly, was in March. We see that sales dropped a little bit in April, and they also dropped a little bit more from April to May. When I say sales, I'm actually talking about recordings, transactions that actually recorded. The graph that I have here is a combined total of both single family and the combined total of single family with condos and townhomes, kind of that whole lump sum total. So maybe a little different than numbers you get from the Review Journal if you've seen any of their articles. But we were down slightly from about 9.6% in recordings in May versus April. However, let's look at that. So this is why statistics can get a little bit tricky. We were actually up, and I have it written down over here, just looking at my numbers. They were up 87% from May of 1 year ago. And again, what happened a year ago, we were right in the middle of pandemic. Everything had shut down. But we'll look at this, and this is why statistics are a little misleading. Although we see a trend here, 3 consecutive months that the sales have dropped a little bit, that month, the recordings that we had in May was actually the 3rd highest total that we've had in about 6 years. So still a super brisk market, still lots of sales out there. Let's talk about inventory and what's happening there. Inventory has creeped up just a little bit. About in April was kind of the low point. We've seen it increase by over 400 in the last couple of months. And we still see very little bank-owned properties out there. Again, the great news is even if somebody was impacted by the COVID-19 and shutting down at their work, appreciation rates have gone up so much they were able to list and sell their home, not only pay off their mortgage, any back payments, but sometimes put tens of thousands of dollars in their pocket. So it's really important to have an agent like myself to aggressively market it so you can get that top dollar. So we see inventory kind of creeping up a little bit, sales coming down. We're going to kind of watch that trend. It's nothing that I would say to get excited about, but it's just something to watch as we go forward with this. So what are the predictions? What's happening with the median price and appreciation there? Well, if you can see the graph over here, we are still climbing. What was up over 2.7% month over month, we are up. The combined total of single family and condos is up over 14%. If we look just at single family houses, the median price now is $385,000, up over 22% from where it was a year ago. So we see just a super brisk market, lots of things happening. So having a skilled agent both when you're buying and selling makes a difference. We do a couple of unique things from a marketing standpoint to expose the home a little bit more. As a matter of fact, we do about 14 unique things that most other agents don't do when marketing a home. Now, let me ask you this. If you were having an auction, you're selling any item out there, and if you invited 5 or 6 people, or you invited 5,000 people to that auction, where's that item going to sell faster and for more money? Right. When you have more exposure. And that's what we do, is we cast a wide net, give lots of exposure to help you sell quickly and for the very most money. So if you ever have some questions about the market, you know who to call. Rick Brinkus at Keller Williams Realty, the marketplace, right here in Las Vegas. Phone number 702-456-5959. Go ahead and subscribe down below if you've liked this. And as always, if you're curious about what your home could sell for in today's market, go ahead and go to my website. You can actually, there's a link down below to click to get an instant valuation of what your home may be worth in this market. You may be surprised. It may be worth way more than you think. Thanks.